what? I really like what I'm doing. I like real estate. I do deals myself. Not as many as that guy, though. He's already got 45. I need to get him on the ball with it. But it's empowering stuff to hear. It's nice. I love it.
Roundup Family, my real estate Roundup Family. Greetings. This is Chris Haskins. I am honored to bring you my friend. We met last year, and we've actually been grown to know each other pretty well. Mike Banks, how you doing, my brother?
I'm doing good. How you doing, Chris?
Man, it's like 70 degrees here in Virginia, East Coast. How about where you at?
I think it might be in the 80s. I'm in Florida, and it's beautiful. It's like, man, I could be fishing right now. It's so nice out. It looks like it's 77. No, 83. That was yesterday. 83.
Mike, my mission in ministry is to raise your financial literacy through real estate investing and entrepreneurship. Doing that, our paths crossed. I had to fill you out a little bit, and then I saw what you did. You had raised $500,000 for my Roundup fam. Now we're passing $1 million for the Real Estate Roundup family. I'm like, Mike, thank you. I got to get one of those. Matter of fact, I need one of those things, man.
I'm going to have to get you one then. I'm going to have to send you one. Give me your address. Every time I do that on one of the interviews, they're like, oh, my God, I need one of those guns. So my new thing is I'm going to start sending people those guns every interview.
I'm going to do that joint in public, man. You're going to wreak havoc.
Yeah, I was thinking about taking it out one night, but when they find out it's just fake money, they might be a little disappointed.
I'm going to put some real dollars in mine.
Exactly.
Roundup, Mike agreed to come back on. I've been trying to get him on here for quite some time. The man is super busy, but he's given me and my team 1 hour of his time to answer any of the questions that you have. First of all, he's going to explain his program, how he is financing real estate investors without putting the business line of credit on your personal credit. Mike, real quick, give us a 40,000-foot view of how that looks.
Yeah, so with business credit, like you just said, it doesn't show up on your personal credit report, which is a huge benefit. So if, let's say, you're sitting on a flip, you just bought a rental property, you're rehabbing it, you're placing a tenant, and you plan to do a cash out refinance like so many of our clients are doing, what's cool is the business credit is not going to affect your personal score. So when you go to do that refinance, it's going to be easy. You're not going to have to worry about your personal scores or your personal credit being maxed out. So what we do as a service, a done-for-you service, we have a 12-month membership. That's what we do. We set up business credit accounts, and you have the ability to send a wire transfer from the credit line to the title company, to the contractor, to wherever you want. If you're buying inventory, if you're paying contractors, or you're buying houses, or whatever it is you're doing, you're able to use the credit just like cash in that form. You can send a wire transfer. It only costs 2.5% to send a wire transfer, and you're getting cash back rewards. Just interviewed a guy. He did 3 deals. 2 of them were $80,000. 1 of them was $25,000. And he sent the wire transfer using plastic. Cost 2.5%, but you get 1 to 1.5% on cashback rewards. So it really only costs him about 1% to send the wire transfer. And he's already done 3 deals with the credit we got for him in about 4 months. So he's going to be able to do more than that, maybe even like 5 to 10 deals.
Holy cow.
And it's only going to cost him 1% to send that money, as opposed to going and getting a hard money lender and paying 10 or 12 grand on the money, because that's what you're going to spend on about $100,000. So it's a great resource. Like I said, we do all the work. We have a 12-month membership. We build up to and over $250,000 in the first 2 to 3 weeks. Most people get up to $150,000. A lot of people are between the 50 to 125 mark, but a ton of people are getting over that. Like that guy just got $130,000 on his one round. Wow. And, he said, like, I'm able to do 20 properties this year now because of you guys instead of just 10. So that's what we do in a nutshell. If you're a startup, if you're just starting out and you've only done a couple flips or you haven't even done one yet, the only qualifier you really need is a good credit score. So ideally a 730 score and up. And if you don't have an entity, we set that up for you. We have an attorney firm that we have a relationship with. They'll set up the entity for our clients. So you can use that entity for whatever you want, holding properties, doing your day-to-day business through it. That's all included in our program. And that's like what we do in a nutshell. I mean, in as few words as possible, we set up business credit lines for people. That's what we do.
So for the people that may not understand what a business line of credit is, Mike, just tell us, what does that look like? I mean, is it a checkbook? Do we get? Is it a credit card? How does it come? How does it look?
Well, here's the thing. With the there's two different types of credit, right? So there's business credit lines, which are basically business credit cards. And then there's business lines of credit. Business credit cards are better because they're easier to get approved for. You don't have to have financials. You don't have to have tax returns. You don't have to have a bunch of things that you need for a business line of credit. So if I was you, I would even change that you got written on there and just put business credit card or business credit lines. So we're being super real with people, because with a business line of credit, like I said, there's a lot more hoops to jump through. You got to have the financials, and a lot of real estate investors don't have that. They don't have the tax returns that show
W-2.
Right, exactly. So with a business credit card or a business credit line, same thing. You can get approved a lot more easily. It costs the bank a lot less money to lend through business credit because there's less human beings involved in the approval process. Most of it's done through a computer. Like if I go and I apply right now, the computer responds to me and tells me what I'm approved for. And 9 times out of 10, the computer is going to tell you that you're only approved for a small amount, or they'll even deny you. They'll say, oops, sorry, you don't have any business credit history. At our bank, we require business credit history, but we know that that's not really true. That's kind of just their way of pushing back a little bit. So through our program, we have a team here of 40 people who are at your disposal. They're going to the bank every day and they're on the phone with the decision maker and they're making sure that you get approved the maximum amount possible. And we don't take those simple responses, and we don't take that as the decision. But most people, when you do this on your own, you go and apply for credit, they give you the decision. That's it. You're like, maybe next time. But that's not the way it really is. So if they tell you that, like I've had so many clients before, they go and they apply on their own, they have a 750 credit score, they try to do it on their own and they get shot down, or they only get 5,000. So it's not until we go to bat for you and we're negotiating the account and making sure that you get approved at the maximum amount possible. And this is what we do for our clients. We originate 15 million every month in credit. So we have a different relationship than you have with the bank. It's a lot easier for us to get our clients approved. And that's why we're getting $50, $75, $150,000. Whereas the average person goes and does it on their own and they might get 5, maybe 10, not enough to do a deal with, barely enough to cover half of a rehab. So that's why a lot of people are like, well, can I do it on my own? It's just credit. It's like, you could do it on your own, but you'll never do it at the level that we're doing it at. And also, it's just like anything else. Why not pay the professional to do it if you're interested in doing it anyway? You might as well pay the pros. When I do title work, when I got to close a deal, I don't learn how to do the title work to avoid paying the title company. I pay the title company. I pay the lawyer. I pay whoever it is, just so I can get it done without having to think about it.
Mike, thanks for joining us. If you're just coming in, this is Mike Banks with Fund and Grow Roundup Family. If you're ready to get rocking and rolling, Mike gave me a special link in the video description below. You're getting a $500 discount on his normal membership fee. You can go there right now. But Mike, I want you to tell me, who is this not for? Just because I don't want to think that everybody can just go get all this money, because it's not for everybody.
Yeah, so it tends to be the best for people who know how to find deals. They know how to do real estate deals. Now, if you're just starting out and you're not sure how to source a deal, you're not sure where to find a discounted property, then that might be where you need to put your focus first. Figure out where you're going to buy a property from. Get connected with a wholesaler in your area, or go and start looking at for sale by owners and watch some of Chris's videos. Figure out how to negotiate with the seller. I just watched one of your videos the other day where you're on the phone with a live call with the seller, negotiating one of your deals. I think he wanted like $5,000 and you didn't want to put any money down on it or something like that. That was a good call. So, figure out how to negotiate that stuff. And then once you know how to do that, money is secondary. You get the money from wherever you want. But if you know how to find deals and you're already doing deals, or maybe you're a wholesaler and you're looking to get into it and you need some money to do your first fix and flip, then I'd say that's for you guys. Now, so the people it's not for are the people that don't know how to really, turn a dollar. You got to know how to make money and create a return on your investment. It's not to go to the casino with. It's not to buy TVs. It's to buy like performing assets. It's to either do flips or buy and hold rental properties. That's what a lot of our clients are doing. But the truth is, you don't have to be a real estate investor. If you happen to be on here and let's say you need more money to start up your practice, or you're trying to expand your brick and mortar or whatever type of business. But most of our clients are in the real estate game. So it really is a great fit for people that are in the real estate game. If you have really bad credit right now, I wouldn't say it's not for you, but you're not going to jump right in and get the funding right away. Because like I said before, we need somebody with pretty good credit. Now, if you need credit repair, we have that solution as well. If you wanted to get with us and talk with us about that, that's something you can do. But really, this program is best for people with a 730 score who know how to do deals. They know how to make money in real estate. Excuse me. And they're looking for more money so that they could do more deals. And even like if you're using hard money lenders right now, that's a great option. Private money's great, but this is also a great option. And it's
another tool to have. So it sounds like you're telling me, Mike, you better use this money to invest with as opposed to spending it on consumable goods.
Yeah, like a lot of people are paying their property taxes. They're covering renovations. Some people are buying properties outright, especially in the markets where, it's under 100,000 and it's kind of hard to even get a loan on that. Yeah. You could do the deal outright. And I've had tons of clients that I've interviewed, and tons of clients are buying rental properties from one of my other affiliates. So it's a great resource. A lot of people kind of like scratch their heads at first. They're like, wait, what?
I did.
Credit? What? Like, what are you talking about? But here's the deal. You get the business credit. It doesn't show up on your personal report. You can then send a wire transfer from that credit line to the title company, to a contractor, to anyone. If you're going to do coaching, let's say you're going to buy a coaching program, you can use it for that. We finance a ton of coaching programs every single day. So those are some uses for it. But, if you're in real estate, you know how to make money in real estate. It's a no-brainer. Like you're going to be either getting hard money loans or covering the down payment out of your own pocket, or covering the rehab out of your own pocket. It just allows you to do more. And also a lot of people are already using their personal credit. I know I know the guy I just interviewed a couple hours ago, he told me he was using his personal credit and then his scores would drop and it would mess up his refinance chances. And now he's got $100,000 sitting on these business credit cards, but he's still able to do his cash out refinance and closing it this week. And then he's going to take that money and go and get another rental property. He's not even going to pay the cards off yet because they're still at zero interest. So instead of doing that, he's just going to get another property and repeat the process, fix it up, tenant it, cash out, and then he'll probably end up paying the cards off once it gets closer to that zero interest term ending. But what's cool with us, we don't just get you one round at zero interest. We do it 3 times over the 12 months. So every time we do it, you get an average of 12 months at zero interest. So you end up getting a lot longer than just the initial 12 months. And then you can merge accounts. You can move the balance over to the new zero interest bearing account. And we help you do it in a creative way so that you keep it at zero interest for as long as possible. And then some clients will even sign up with us for a second and third year, or they'll take all the education that they got out of the program. Even though we're a done for you service and we do it all, they still are learning a lot because you're in contact with our team. You're learning the ins and outs and how it all works. So a lot of people will just take what they learned and they'll maintain it on their own as well. So you get a lot of education out of it too.
Nice, Mike. You got, once again, I just had to, I'm speaking these words. You've got my Roundup is over $1 million. I'm just thinking in the last 6 months. Could you just walk me down the process? Say, you know what, I raise my hand, I go to the link below and I want to get signed up. Give me a step-by-step. How does it kind of walk me through the process?
Yeah. So if you go to the link in the description, it's going to ask you what's your credit score range. You don't have to just pick any range, whatever you think is the closest. And then we'll call you. We'll go over everything with you. We'll answer all your questions. And we'll ask you a few questions about your credit, like how many credit cards you have. Are they major bank cards? What are your limits? What are your balances? Do you have any brand new accounts? Do you have any negatives? So we get a picture of your credit, and then we tell you what you pre-qualify for based on that. And then you say, okay, I want to do it. I want the $500 discount that Chris set up for us. So boom, we get you started as a client right then and there. You could do a payment plan, or you could pay the full payment up front.
Okay.
So a lot of people will do a payment plan. So you put down basically $1,000 and change, and you get the process started. Then you're a client, right? So now you got your welcome email as a client. Now you go to your client login, you fill out your information, basic stuff. And then once that's done, we process your file, usually within 2 to 3 business days from the day that you signed up and made that first payment. We process your file, we review your credit, we come up with a very clear pre-qualification amount, what banks we're going to apply to. And if we can't apply right now because you need to make pay downs because you're maxed out or you need credit repair, you'll find out within that first few days. So we'll say, look, you're qualifying. We're getting you on the apps list in 3 days from now. You'll have the funding in your hands in 2 to 3 days. Or we'll say, hey, you need to pay these down. Can you pay down $5,000 on these cards? Or we'll even say, hey, look, we can do some balance transfers so you don't have to pay it down out of pocket. We can take some credit from this card and move it over to this card and balance things out so that you're not over the 35% mark on one card, but you're at 0% on one card on the debt to credit ratio. So we help you balance it out. We give you a good pay down plan. We also have a loan company in place for a short-term loan that is specifically meant to pay down your credit cards.
Wow.
And then we get you business credit, and then you pay the loan off with the zero interest business credit. So the point is to bring the personal credit down so that you're not maxed out on your personal credit, that now you qualify for business credit. So either, like I said, either straight to funding, pay downs, or credit repair if that's a need. Then you'll find that out in the first 3 days, three business days of working with us. And then we set up your entity if you need one, and then we move you right to funding once everything's ready to go.
Stay there for a minute, Mike. Entity. You talked about entity. I know some people might be saying, well, I don't have an LLC yet.
Yeah, so we could either just set up a tax ID for you to get the business credit with, or we can set up an actual LLC. And the LLC is going to be good because a lot of us need that, whether we're planning on just doing a little bit of real estate and we're like, I don't really need the whole LLC. But if you're buying properties, you're holding properties, any type of business, really, you should be using your LLC. But what's cool is you can just set up a tax ID, a sole proprietorship, and you can get credit that way. You don't have to go through the whole LLC process. You can just set up a simple tax ID. And as long as you have good credit, that's all you need to get business credit. So it's easy for anyone at any stage of any business.
So you're going to help them with that, Mike?
Yes, we do that for free. We have an attorney firm that we have a relationship with. They set up the LLCs for our clients, and they did it for me as well, actually. Wow. And they even let you know, like, hey, it's time to make your annual payment for your registered agent.
Yeah.
And they let me know about it. So I went through the whole process just like a client would. And, they do that for free. Why do they do that for free? Because they also do like estate planning and trusts. So, there might be a little upsell at some point, but at the same time, you don't have to buy it. The LLC is free regardless.
Okay. Wow. That is really cool. So I just want my rounduppers. I'm like, for me, when I was starting out, I didn't have an LLC, many, many moons ago. Somebody like this can help me set up. I think that's a cool advantage.
Did you not have an LLC for a little while? Like you probably did a couple deals, and I'm sure there's tons of people right now, because I did the same thing. I did several deals without an LLC, just did it all on my personal name. And the title company's like, hey man, you're starting to get going here. You might want to protect yourself a little bit.
That's right.
And I'm like, all right, fine.
That's right. You better get, it's weird. You never know. Anyway, yeah, we both did it. I think the majority of us kind of start out doing that. Buying houses in your name, right?
Yep.
Crazy. So a lot of people are thinking, Mike, as I thought, I'm like, I can just do this myself. I can go to the bank and just apply for credit lines myself. Mike, why do I care about using you?
Well, I mentioned it earlier. We have a whole team of people here. They're incentivized with a commission to make sure that they get you the maximum amount possible. These people are like experts when it comes to navigating the banking system. They know exactly what to say. They know what number to call so that they're not sitting on hold like you would do if you did it yourself and you call the customer service line. It's hard to get through to the decision maker and actually have a human being put that application in review. The other reason why you would want to work with us is because we're a very reputable business. We have over 2,000 positive reviews. We bring on 200 to 300 new clients every month, and we originate 15 million every month.
Wow.
15 million on average. So that right there says a lot. And we've been in business for 12 years. We're on the Inc. 5000 list 5 years, going on 5 years in a row. And again, the 2,000 positive reviews, like we take care of things. We're consistently delivering at a high level. We're not, if you do it on your own, like I said earlier, you don't really know how to simultaneously get approved for multiple accounts at one time. And you don't really know what number to call, who to speak to, what to say, what numbers to request based on the numbers you have on your credit report. So there's a lot that goes into it that people aren't really aware of. And even if you have a 750 credit score, I can't tell you how many times I've had clients come to me as a new client and say, hey, I tried to do it on my own. I got shot down. They wouldn't approve me at all. And I have good credit. And a lot of times we know what the bank will say. They'll say, we see you have good personal credit, but you don't have any business credit history. And our policy is we need business credit history in order to approve it. That's how our bank works. And a lot of them will say that to you. And you're like, wait, how do I get credit? If you're telling me I need business credit, I'm applying for business credit. Like, wait. So that's just a response that the computer will spit out at you because it's just the way it is. Like they're not as openly lending on the business side as they are on personal. It's a lot easier to get credit approvals compared to getting business credit approvals.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot of those responses that make you feel like, oh man, maybe next time, like, I wish I would have gotten approved, because that's what the average person does when they apply and they don't get approved. They're like, I wish I would have got approved, but they're not aware of what to do after that and how to overturn that decision, how to put it into review, how to push for the approval when like we have an extra level of confidence. We submit 1,500 applications every month. We're doing the kind of volume that allows us to know exactly what to say, how to do it. And also, the fact that we're doing 15 million a month, we've got a different relationship than you guys have. It's just obviously like we're going to get you better results than you would on your own. Not to say that you have to work with us. That's up to you. Like, we don't care. If you want to work with us, great. If not, that's up to you. But personally, would I do it on my own, or would I just have the team do it for me? I would not do it on my own. There were like, even though I know exactly how to do it, and I used to be one of the people that were on the phones, submitting applications, calling in, negotiating, speaking to the underwriters that we're on the phone with every day. I know exactly how to do it, and I might even be one of the best at it, but I'm not going to do it myself. I would still rather have them do it for me. So,
wow.
So is that. Like, do I want to do it myself? No, I don't.
That's crazy. You get into business. Yeah, because I'm thinking I could do it, but I'm like, man, you guys have the relationships. You got all this capital moving, flowing, and the personal. I can't tell you the last time I tried to call a bank and get somebody on the phone, dude. I mean, I'm on this. The whole scares me from
right. Pressing the button, like, what's your call about? Like, I just want to talk to somebody. I don't know what none of these things match up.
The pain.
Representative.
Then it hangs up. Like,
sorry, but you failed.
Disconnected. So I want to talk very briefly. Roundup, get your questions in here for Mike Banks with Fund and Grow. He's given us the regular price for and I want to talk about the rounds of funding and the membership after this. Mike, you gave us a discount. What is that again?
$500 off our normal price. So if you go to our website and you don't go to the link in the description, you'll be shooting yourself in the foot, because Chris has set up a really good discount. So it's $39.97 regularly, $500 off that, $34.97.
Gotcha. So total they're going to spend is $34. And you said something about payments on that, Mike. You were able to break that down?
Yeah, we got a 3-payment plan option, $1,332 times 3. So first payment today, second payment 30 days later, next payment 30 days after that. And then there's a 2-payment option, which is 2 payments of 16. Hold on, let me double check it. 1625, I think.
You can find that somewhere.
It's 1874. 2 payments of 1874 or 3 payments of 1332.
Can they use some of the credit lines to pay for some of that?
You could put down, like, if you do the 3-pay plan, you put down 1332, and if you've got good credit and we can apply right away, we have tons of clients that have the credit in their hands within 2 to 3 weeks. So that's before your next payment's due. Your next payment's due in 30 days. So at the very least, you can at least be sure, if you got good credit, you'll be able to pay at least your last payment with the credit.
With the credit,
likely pay your second payment. Sorry, what's that?
You're telling me they can use this credit that you're giving them to pay for the membership?
Yeah, they got to put down 1 payment though up front. Like today, if they want to sign up, they would have to at least put down $1,300.
Okay.
And then we'll go to bat. We'll get started right away, just like they paid in full. And then they could have the business credit in their hands in the next 2 weeks.
Gotcha.
So they could pay the balance off of what they owe. So they put down $1,300, and we get going and have the funding coming to their house, and then boom, they just pay the rest off.
Nice. I've got clients all around the country, and when they call me up and I see what they're doing, just not only, I see a lot of them paying the contractors and buying building materials is the majority of what I see, Mike.
Yep.
Helps them to get those rehabs done faster.
Oh yeah. I just interviewed a guy named Gabriel Falk. He told me he covered 8 rehabs with the funding that he got, and he paid property taxes. He even used it to pay his employees, because he was able to do a creative way of getting the cash off with his merchant account.
Cool.
So yeah, he covered 8 rehabs, and he's got like 15 rental properties right now. It's pretty cool what people are doing with it. I really love hearing the stories from clients, what they're doing with it. Yeah, you got a client that you sent on one of these. I think you already did it once, but someone who's done a deal and go over the whole deal with them, and that's a pretty powerful interview.
It is cool, and just to see it, man.
I love it.
That's why I'm in this business, man. You know, Mike, you can only buy so many houses. I mean, they all look the same after a while. Now you try to give back and help other people buy.
Yep.
Roundup, thanks for joining us. Once again, Mike Banks, go to the video description, the link to join up with Mike to get my discount that I so eloquently negotiated for you. You know, they're out there just giving it away. I got to ask. You have to ask. Roundup is in the video description below. Go ahead and get signed up. Mike, tell me about this rounds of funding. I don't quite make sure people understand that.
Yeah. So there's other companies out there. They'll just apply for like 20 different accounts in the very beginning, and then that's it. They'll get you, and then that's not helpful for you. For one, a lot of these other companies are going to just get you personal credit and tell you it's business, and they'll get every single client personal. So anyway, the rounds of funding that we do them 3 times over the 12 months. So the first round will come in within the first 2 to 3 weeks, and that usually consists of like 4 different accounts, 4 to 5 different accounts usually. And some of those accounts can be upwards of $50,000. We've had some people get 75, 100,000 with one bank. Typically, they're closer to like the $20-ish, $30,000 range per account.
Gotcha.
And then you get 0 interest on average.
Tell me about that.
It's all 0 interest.
I'm not even understanding that.
Yeah, believe it or not, it's true. It's a real thing. You know, a lot of people are like, how does the bank make money? Like, well, how does the bank make money on any 0 interest offer that they give? They give them all the time. They do it with cars. They do it with furniture. They do it with personal credit cards. So the point is, they want to get you in the door as a customer, so that the other bank doesn't get you. And then once you've got that account, you've accumulated some debt. They're hoping that you're going to end up having to pay interest at some point. But that's where we come in. We help you extend the amount of time you have it at 0 interest and keep on rolling it over so that you don't ever really have to pay interest on the account. And even if you do, the interest rate's only usually about 12%, 12 to 16% after that. They're revolving accounts. They stay open for life. The interest is not retroactive. It just goes off of the time that you have a balance and the time that the interest is incurred. It's not like all that time. Some people ask that question. So
retro.
So the 3 rounds of funding, that's how it works. We do it usually right away in the first week, and then we do the next one usually about 6 months later, and then we do the last one at the end of the membership 6 months after that. Gotcha. And a lot of people get up to 250,000. A lot of people get more than that. I had that guy I was telling you about, 8 remodels. He got 293,000. Just had a client, husband and wife, got 285,000 on their first round of funding. Now, am I telling everybody to come in expecting to get those, highest numbers possible? No, not really, but there is potential to hit that, and a lot of people do hit it. But there's also the potential that you can be closer to the 50 to 100,000 mark per round. Some people even get 30,000 on their first round, and then guess what? That's because they had limited credit, but they get 30,000 on their first round, and I've seen it 100,000 times. They get 30,000 on their first round, and then on the next round they get 100,000. So it happens, and people got to really keep that in mind. Sometimes people come in and they might get 30, 40, 50,000. And, they're like, oh, I wanted more. I thought I was getting more. Come on. And we're like, hey, don't forget, there's 2 other rounds here. So, you got to just stick with it. And 9 times out of 10, they do. We have a very high retention rate. So we have a very small amount of people falling off and canceling and getting out of the program.
So, Mike, what if my credit's in the trash and I want to maybe bring in my business partner to work with me on doing the funding?
Yeah, definitely. A lot of people are doing that. And we allow that with no extra cost. So if you need credit repair, you can bring in your spouse, your business partner. We can apply using their credit, get you the funding, and then a couple months later, your credit's repaired, and then we can apply for you. So it makes a lot of sense. And even if, let's say your spouse also has pretty good credit, we can apply for both of you and get you double the amount of funding. So it makes a lot of sense to do that for sure. Gotcha. And it's a good value too, because you're basically getting a buy one, get one free.
Nice.
It's just got to be someone though, like your business partner, your family member, if you're going to be bringing them onto your Fund and Grow account.
Gotcha. Well, I just wanted to make sure that we cover that this is not for consumable goods Roundup. I'm bringing you this financing here because I want you to go out and buy houses. Me personally, that's why I brought Mike on here. Basically, the value that he adds to my channel.
Yeah,
Mike. So you're telling me, say if I've never bought a house, don't have an LLC, you can still help us. I just want to make sure I drive that point home, because I don't want people to think that this is not for them too.
Yep. Now, if we still had the business lines of credit up on the board, in that case, they would have to have like a business with financials and all this stuff.
Gotcha.
But with what we do with business credit lines, business credit cards, they don't have to have any of that. All you need to have is a good personal credit score and decent credit history. You don't need an LLC. You don't need a bunch of experience. It's just a matter of the desire to start or grow your business. That's where we come in. We can help you get the funding very quickly. It's an easy process for us, and it doesn't take a lot of time. It doesn't take a lot of your time. We're done for you service. So we do the whole thing for you. And it's really a no-brainer. If you're doing deals, if you're planning to do deals, you can cover marketing, you can cover the rehab, you can buy properties outright. And we talked about it, but sending a wire transfer costs you 2.5%. You send the wire to the title company. You're a cash buyer now. So when you're negotiating with these sellers on deals, whether you're getting them from the MLS or you're sourcing them yourself through direct mail or whatever, like I do, you're a cash buyer. And you don't have to feel like you're lying about it. Like some wholesalers, they're telling people they're a cash buyer, but they have cash buyers in their back pocket. They're not actually going to buy it cash. So it does give you another level of confidence having access to this credit as a wholesaler or not. You're really feeling like you're in the spirit of a cash buyer, because you can close with cash by sending that wire to the title company. It only costs you 2.5%, and then the cashback rewards ends up basically washing that whole expense out. So it's a real great option. I use it. I'm also a real estate investor. I've done quite a few deals now. I'm in the middle of finishing up a rehab. I'm about to get a contract signed on another house that's on the water.
Nice.
Gulf access. I already got someone lined up that wants to buy it. I'm getting it for like 170, 171 because someone else beat my 165 offer. And so I'm trying to beat them right now. And I'm pretty sure I got her locked in. We had a good conversation about like the coronavirus and,
Lord,
Republicans. So I think I got her, but and all I did was text one of my buddies who's now my buddy because he's helped me close other deals. I offered him a deal. He didn't want it, but he brought me a buyer who ended up getting in a bidding war with one of my buyers. So I got $3,000 more out of my last deal. So I gave that guy a mobile home deal that I had. I gave it to him totally free. I was like, wow, I don't need to make anything on it. And he's like, oh my God. So now I hit him up and I'm like, hey, do you know anyone that wants this waterfront house? It's like, actually, a buddy of mine's looking for a waterfont house. Sounds like a great deal. And I'm like, really? Like I wasn't sure if it was that great of a deal, but and the numbers, having that extra set of eyes is nice too. So
that's true.
It's a great world to live in the real estate world. You know what I mean? It's nice.
Well, when you have access to capital, I heard you talk about that, man. It's just something when you wake up in the morning, you're like, man, I don't have to worry about, I can make the offer, done. Don't got to call it up. I just think it gives you a certain posture, Mike. What do you say?
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah. Even having the money in the bank, that's cool too. But having that credit,
access.
Nice. Yeah.
My thing is, when I was coming up, I'm like, I learned that I didn't really necessarily need the money. I just needed access to the money, Mike. I mean, everybody has different stages of their entrepreneurial walk, per se.
Yep. It's all about who you know. You got to be bumping shoulders with the right people. And if you don't have the money and you don't want to use a hard money lender, well, then you can go talk to people that, could be an investor could be a private investor, right? Private money, a little different than hard money. You're pitching them to put money in with you, and I think that's like something you specialize in, right?
Yeah, we do that too. Well, I mean, I'm a fan of. Well, I like this one so much because private money. I don't want people messing up ma and pa. So you can get out here and get this business stuff, and it's on you. It's on you to perform. So you're putting yourself at risk.
Right.
I don't want everybody dealing with ma and pa, So
because once you get more experience, then maybe when you really know what you're doing and the value, the comp, the ARV, and you really know what the potential is, then do whatever you want. But at this stage, using business credit's great. It's unsecured, doesn't show up on your personal credit report.
Wow.
And it's just a no-brainer. Why not add it to your arsenal if you're planning on using hard money, if you're planning on using your own money.
Just another layer. Tell me about tax returns, Mike. Am I going to have to scan those and send them to you?
Nope. No, not at all. No, it's all credit, or it's all credit and stated income, credit based stated income. So we don't need tax returns. And yeah, it's,
Nice.
I mean, with a line of credit, yes, you would. That was one thing I was starting to mention before. You would need a lot more with a line of credit, but with these, it costs the bank way less money to lend through a business credit card. So
Gotcha.
they don't need all of those different verifications and financial confirmations and all that stuff.
Cool. Cool. Well, we're almost at 40 minutes, Mike. Time goes by so fast.
Yeah, it really does. I'm trying to keep those interviews I do to 20 to 30 every single time I've done it, 45, 50 minutes.
Yeah, bro. Round up. Get your questions in the chat box to the left. Mike, which is the chat box on your right or left? I can never remember.
On the right.
On the right. Get your questions in on the right there. For Mike to answer, you got the man right here. I promise you ain't gonna be able to get him on the phone if you try. I've tried.
Oh, I see you now.
Huh?
I said I see all these comments now. I didn't see them before. I had to click on live comments.
Oh, yeah.
There's a
So
bunch.
the live comments are on I think they're on your right, but they might be on, let me see.
They're on my right. Yeah.
Let me see where they are on live. Yeah, they're on your right. I'm sorry. There you go. On the right, Roundup. You're right, Mike.
Very
Go
cool.
get your questions in, and Mike will answer them. The man with Fund and Grow. If you want to go ahead and get signed up, which I'm telling you, the man, I've seen it, Roundup, for my people, raising over $1 million, Mike. I mean, I know you got a lot of guys you're dealing with, but I mean,
No, that was good. That was a short period of time. And you keep on sending more and more people. So
it's crazy.
It's great. Like, but we do have some affiliates that have, like, I have one that's got 95 million just for his pool, but he's been at it with us for 3 years.
Okay.
Same type of thing though. Video interviews, podcasts, webinars, and the link on his website, and 2 webinars a year. I mentioned that. Anyway, yeah, like some people really get it. Like once in a while I'll do a video interview and we'll only have a few sales, but at the same time they slowly are coming in.
Yeah.
But with you, we've had quite a bit coming in a short period of time. We've already got over the million mark. So
5 months,
a bright future ahead.
5 months, bro. I'm like, damn, I'm looking at these numbers. I'm like, it took, it took me a little while to kind of get over this hump of this credit line thing, when we first.
Everyone's like, what? It's too good to be true. Or wait, why would I ever? That sounds stupid to use credit for that. Like these bigger pockets people, like, anyway, the people that are posting on bigger pockets.
No doubt.
Like a lot of naysayers out there. It's like, dude, if you don't want to use it, don't use it. But I don't care how many deals you've done. You're not the end all be all. I have so many clients that have done 50, 100 deals or more, and they love the resource. They love us. They're grateful. Mm-hmm. So, it just comes down to the person and how they're, how skeptical and cynical of a person they are.
Yeah. Well, luckily, Roundup, I have vetted him for you, and I've seen what he can do. Matter of fact, I'm going to bring some other people on here this month that have got over $100,000 from you, Mike. Thank you, my friend. Thank you.
No problem.
Questions in, y'all, right there in the chat box.
Yeah, I mean, if you even just Google Fund and Grow, you'll see a lot of reviews. You might see about 1,000 on Google, and then on like all the other platforms added up, we got over 2,000.
Gotcha.
So they're all positive. We got a 4.9 star rating, 2,000 reviews. Come on, like, you can't argue with that. It is what it is. If you like the idea, great. If not, that's fine. But we are reputable. We care about what we do. We have integrity. Every single person here has been instilled with that same mindset, the same vision, to where it's like their own business, and they have their own little department. They have their clients that they manage. They're an account manager. They're a processor, whatever it is. So it's very, like, everyone's self-sufficient. We don't have to micromanage around here, but at the same time, we're on top of things, and we have like about 4 or 5 department like directors or managers, and they're like experts. They could have their own business. They're not like lower level type of, no one here is like, everyone here is very professional, organized, positive. You know what I mean? They care. They really do. And I say this stuff on every video because it's true, but it's important for people to know that you're not going to be disappointed. You're not going to feel like, oh my God, they don't know what they're doing. It's disorganized. We're on top of stuff for you guys.
You are, man. I have no problems so far. No problems with my clients. Let's do this. Take some Q&A, guys. Make sure if you're ready to get signed up for Fund and Grow, you can get my discount that I negotiated for you in the video description below. Get rocking and rolling. Dragon, what up, Dragon? What if your credit is 544 because of school loans, man?
Well, if it's all just because of school loans, then we'd have to take a look at that and figure out what's really going on. But you might need some credit repair. And we do have a credit repair company, and they handle all of our clients. Like if anyone signs up at any point and they got a collection, or they got, whatever it is, bankruptcy, even they've removed bankruptcies 4 years before they were supposed to come off in many cases. So anything really, any judgment, any type of negative they've removed. So that's where you would be. So look, there's 3 different ways you can go after you become a client with us. You can go right to funding, to applications. You can go to credit repair, or you can go to pay downs and have to do pay downs. That's it. So if your credit score is under a 730 and it's that much under a 730, you might most likely you're going to need some credit repair of some kind. But if you're just around the 650 mark, and sometimes you're over 700, but sometimes you're not, that's probably because you need pay downs.
Gotcha. Thanks for that one, Dragon. Kenny, he wants to know, how much does it cost, Mike?
Well, you can get started for as little as $1,332, $1,332 today, and then you'd make 3 payments of that, or you can pay it up front if you want to pay the whole thing. It's $3,497, $3,497, and I say that because some people think that we meant $34, but that might sound like a lot to some people, but it's not. We've probably already got like over 30 clients from Chris. So, it's not a lot. It's just like if you're paying closing costs on a house,
cost some money. Shit,
it's $3,000 to pay the closing costs on a house that you paid about 100 and something for. Same thing. You're going to get 100 and something $1,000 with us, but you're going to have to pay 3,500, and it is what it is. You get service from us for 12 months, and there's a lot. This phone rings over like 2,000 times a day or something like that. It's ridiculous, the amount of, and we don't let it go to voicemail. We're always on the phone with our clients. We're communicating. We're letting them know what's up, moving them forward as quickly as possible. So it's worth it. It might sound like a lot, but when you get $100,000, $200,000, and you paid $3,500, it's like,
yeah. Well, here's the thing, Mike. My mentor, Greg Penio, when I was coming up, taught me, instilled in me, everything has a cost, and especially in real estate. It just has money is just no different. Just like going to buy oranges, you're going to buy cookies, you're going to buy floor tile. You can buy money, and this is what they're doing. I feel like we're buying money, renting it, and just to use it to go make more money. Yeah,
and you have it for life too. It's not like it terminates after you're done working with us. You have it for life. The zero interest lasts on average 12 months. Some of them are 15 months, but we help you extend it out to 18 to 24 months. But again, it's for life. You could go buy a used car for $3,500. That's not going to last you for life. It's not going to do nothing other than get you around for a couple of years.
Maybe. That's
about what my first car I paid $750 for when I was like 14 or 15 years old. I knocked on this guy's door and I was like, "Hey, you want to sell this Honda Civic hatchback?" He's like, "Yeah." I ended up getting it for $750, cleaned it, lowered the front, couldn't get the back lowered because I couldn't get a bolt out. So I had the front lowered and the back was still up. I sold it for $1,500 to one of my brother's friends like 6 months later.
Like flipping cars.
That was my first flip.
Prize Investments wants to know what happens after the 12 months, I guess, regarding the membership with you.
Yeah, so the membership ends at 12 months usually. Sometimes we'll go over 12 months for people. We're not like, oh, it's day 365, goodbye. Sometimes we work with people. As you can probably tell, we're pretty flexible. We're not like sticklers or whatever. We're like cool and easy to work with. So after the 12 months, it usually does end at 12 months. And then if you say, all right, I got my 3 rounds of funding, I got great results, I'm pretty happy with it, I think I'll do it again. Then you do it again. You buy another membership, and we'll go back and do the same thing again. Sometimes we'll close older accounts. Sometimes we'll merge accounts if it's with the same bank, because that does happen very often. Or we'll just apply to new banks that we haven't gone to yet. But what's cool is once you get the balance off that account and the zero interest is expired, we can close it and then go up and apply back to it again.
Oh,
and the education is nothing to overlook. Like, there's a lot that you're going to learn going through this program, working together with the experts who are doing it every day. You're going to learn exactly what we do. And so you can maintain it on your own, or you can have us continue the process for you. So that's up to you.
Gotcha. Abundant lady, do you look at business credit?
We don't need to look at the business credit as far as like Paydex. If you're talking like Dun & Bradstreet Paydex score, that's not that important. However, the banks do sometimes look at your Paydex score. If you don't have one, that's fine. But having the Paydex score helps a little bit. It's kind of like this. They look at your personal credit and they say, oh, well, they got pretty good personal credit.
Mm-hmm.
But if you also have the corporate credit rating with Paydex and with Dun & Bradstreet, that helps a bit too, because they do look at that. A lot of times they'll put a whole public record on you. So having that does help. And that's also part of our program. Part of our program is the Dun & Bradstreet corporate credit building side of things, where you could build your Paydex score. You get the vendor credit trade lines, like the Net 30 accounts with places like Uline, Home Depot, Amazon, Dell, Staples, just all different types of vendor specific trade lines. That right there is that's it. That's about as far as it goes. But you get to build your Paydex score, and you get to create your corporate credit profile with Dun & Bradstreet. That part of the program is like less of a big deal. People usually come to us because they want the bank credit. They want the zero interest business credit with, with the ability to send wires and use it as cash and all that good stuff. Nice. But then like what Abundant Lady's talking about is probably about the store credit. You've probably seen some of the ads out there. There's some shady characters out there talking about, you can get $250,000 of business credit that's not linked to your EIN, that's not linked to your social security number.
Yeah.
But the truth is, that's not true. That's just not true. You are not going to get bank credit without a personal credit check. So if you ever hear anyone say you can get $250,000 in business credit without a personal credit check, what they're doing is lying to you. They're talking to you about vendor credit, like I said, store credit, Home Depot, Staples, Dell, all that crap. It's not crap. It's still good, but they're trying to make it sound like you can get cash credit through the bank without a personal credit check. And then once you get in the door, then they pull the curtain and they say, oh, well, here's the deal. Actually, this is the store credit stuff that doesn't require a personal credit check. If you want the zero interest good stuff that Fund and Grow gets, then we have to charge you another 9%. Gotcha. On top of what we just charged you to get in the door. Gotcha. That's not how we operate. Our fee includes cash credit up to and over $250,000. Some people get $150,000 the first 2 weeks. And if you want access to the corporate credit, the Dun & Bradstreet stuff, which we don't talk that much about because it's not as impactful to your business, you can also get that. But there's other companies out there who lead with the vendor credit stuff, make you think you don't need a personal credit check and all this stuff.
Trade line.
We just try to be as real as possible.
Thanks, Mike. Chris Birch, my boy, said he got over $100,000 in the first round.
Woo!
Nice.
Damn.
Printing money. Printing money.
Making it rain. Love it. Thank you, Chris.
Dragon. Oh, Jerry wants to know, what is the rate on return? I guess he's asking, what is the interest rate after the zero expires?
Yep. Well, I personally have a card right now. It's at 9%, but they're not around really right now. They're at 12% is where the bottom is for where the interest rate goes up to. But depending on your credit, how good your credit is, 12 to 16% on average. Sometimes it could be more, but I mean, all mine are at the very bottom of, because they give you a range when you first apply. They say zero interest for the first 12 or 15 billing cycles. Mm-hmm. But then after that, it could go from 12, the minimum of 12 to whatever. Yeah. So it's all about your credit history.
Gotcha. Prize Investments wants to know, will this business credit loan show up on his personal credit?
No, not in the slightest. That's the whole idea of what, that's the whole thing, right? Like, we want to keep the business debt off your personal credit. A lot of people are using their personal credit, and it's making their scores go down. They pay it off and go back up.
Yeah.
So when, we're talking about buying and holding rental properties, fixing and flipping houses, using the credit, all these clients I've interviewed are doing it. I'm doing it. You want it to be on the business credit. So business credit reports to your EIN, and it doesn't show up on your personal credit profile. It shows up on your Experian business credit profile, which is separate. So when you go to refinance or get a mortgage or get an auto loan or whatever,
Doesn't
your
count.
credit is going to be higher than it's ever been because you're finally going to stop using your personal credit for your business and you're going to use the business credit. And now you're going to see, and just like so many of my clients have told me, wow, my scores used to fluctuate between a 670 and a 720. Now I got 790s, 800s.
Wow.
It's crazy. And it's not crazy. It's just like logic and just basic, using the right credit for your business.
Clay. Hey, Clay, what if you have challenged credit? We touched on this earlier. Could you leverage a friend with better credit to get more funding?
Absolutely. Yes. A lot of my clients do that. You bring in a spouse, a friend, a business partner, and you get double the amount of funding. Or maybe I have bad credit right now, but my wife's got great credit. Well, that's it. Bring her in, get the money, and it's that easy. Yeah.
Sway, if I have an escort, would that be okay to get started with, Mike?
Yeah, that's totally fine. We have a lot of clients that come and they already have a business. They're already making $1 million a year, or they're already making 100,000 a year, or whatever it is. So if you already got an entity set up, that's great. But if you don't, that's fine too, because we set them up for free anyway. So you're as long as your credit's decent, you can get funding in the next 2 to 3 weeks. And even if your credit's not decent, we can still help you. But you got to be able to wait until credit repair is done.
Mm-hmm. Prize, do you have to apply for credit on each what do you call it?
Round of funding.
Each round. Do you have to apply each time, Mike?
Yes, absolutely. And this is a good question. It comes up sometimes. Sometimes people are like, oh, well, wait, aren't they going to hit my credit? It's going to ruin my credit? Not at all. Remember what I was just saying about how when you get access to business credit, your debt is no longer on your personal report. Yep. That right there is paramount and way more important than them looking at your credit report when we apply.
The debt ratio.
When we apply, they're going to look at your credit. There's going to be an inquiry on your report. Those inquiries are typically 2 to 3 points each. How much better is your credit going to look when you're using business credit and you're not putting $50,000 in debt on your personal report? Now it's on the business report. Now your personal scores are going to skyrocket and they're going to stay there. So those couple inquiries that you get couldn't be more worth it for the result that you get when you get access to $50, $100, $250,000 in business credit. And we help you remove the inquiries.
Gotcha.
Pretty much 90% of those inquiries will be removed. So it's a non-issue. It's a moot point. The inquiry compared to the amount of credit on business credit that you're going to get, there's no comparison.
Wealth and Wellness, does your service include the inquiry removal resource? I don't have any idea what that is, Mike.
That's exactly what we were just talking about. So after we apply, there's going to be a few inquiries on your credit report after that, right? Really doesn't matter. We're going to wait 6 months before we do your next round of funding anyway. And guess what? Inquiries only hold weight for 120 days. So it's only 4 months, right? So those inquiries aren't even going to matter 6 months from now. Literally, they don't even matter. They only matter when they're recent. So if I go to the bank today and I got 10 inquiries from yesterday and I apply, they're going to be like, whoa, so you've been applying for a lot of credit lately. Is everything okay? Are you desperate? Are you overextended? But if it's 6 months later, for one, those inquiries don't hold any weight. And for two, yes, we help you remove the inquiries. We show you exactly how to do it. Or if you don't want to do it, we say, okay, fine, pay Kadem, our credit repair company, a couple $100 and they'll do it.
Gotcha.
Like, oh, okay. Gotcha. I'll probably just pay them to do it. A lot of people pay them to do it, but some people want to do it themselves.
I wouldn't know where to start.
Well, yeah. I mean, we draft the whole thing for them. All they got to do is send out the letters.
Yeah.
But
I
don't want to do that.
Heck no. Sway, would a $75,000 installment loan and a 730 mid-score hurt my chances of getting funding from you guys?
No, because what's cool is they don't look at installment loans when they're approving you for business credit. So here's the deal. Sometimes we have people with maxed out personal credit. We'll get them a short-term installment loan. Pay off the maxed out personal credit with the loan. So now the debt's on an installment loan, not a revolving credit card. Now you've got no balance on your personal credit cards. Now you qualify for business credit. Now we apply for business credit. We get you 50,000 or whatever. You satisfy that loan, and now the debt's on the business credit at 0 interest.
Wow, y'all doing some
so, and we do this a lot. I mean, we've done quite a few million. I think we're over like 3 million in installment loans since we started doing it, which is not that long ago. We have one company. They literally set up their company specifically to pay down credit cards for companies like us, because the guy used to work inside of another company like what we do, and he saw the need for pay downs. And his dad is like a big real estate hedge fund dude, and he's got like a big fund of millions of dollars in this fund. So he started his own little fund specifically for pay down loans, and that's what his whole company's about. So he'll wire the money to you within 2 days. You pay off your personal credit. He'll wire the money into your bank account. Pay off the personal credit with that money he wired you. Then we go and we get you credit, business credit. And then once you get the credit from us, you pay him off within 5 days. And it's beautiful.
Wow. You got something more. You got a lot going on in the back office.
We got a lot of resources in place. It's like they just come to us. Like we don't even have to search for them anymore. And it helps our clients a lot.
Yeah. Thank you, Roundup. If you're just joining us, this is Mike Banks. We got to get out of here. We had somebody who wanted to go over the whole process. Quam, just rewind the video, my friend. We don't have the time to go over the whole process.
Here's a quick overview. We are done for you service. We get you business credit lines. In 2 weeks, you get up to 150,000. Over the 12 months, you get $250,000. We set up an entity for you. We do all the work, and it's as simple as that. The business credit doesn't show up on your personal report. 0 interest for an average of 12 months. You can send a wire transfer to a title company and close as a cash buyer.
Wow,
pretty simple stuff.
Pretty good. Read a good book for land contracts. What's a good book for land contracts?
Land contracts. A good book to read for doing land contracts. Land contract meaning like a contract to purchase the land?
No,
or
it's a contract deed. It's like owner financing almost. Get my boy Scott Jelinek stuff. Scott Jelinek has a good book on that. Land contract.
We've been having a lot of clients coming in, and we're probably not going to keep the discount open for too long. So you might want to get in as soon as you guys can. If you guys have any other questions, let us know. Typically, we keep it kind of like a time-sensitive thing, but definitely ask your questions. Let us know if you have anything before you guys go and put your number in at the link and get a phone call and get started.
Okay, my brother Mike, this has been cool, man. Thank you so much. Give me just your final thoughts on people that are using your services, Mike. What can you give us on a one-liner?
I mean, if you're doing real estate, it's a great resource to have. Definitely subscribe to the channel, but also, no, business credit's a great option. It's a great resource to have. Doesn't show up on your personal report. We've got over 2,000 positive reviews. We're on the Inc. 5000 list 5 years in a row. We just bought a new office building. We got a team of 40 employees at your disposal. So if you're planning on getting into the credit world, if you're already doing real estate deals, then you should definitely look into it. Go to the link, find out what you pre-qualify for, get a nice plan of action from one of our experts here, and then make your decision from there. But don't forget, you got a $500 discount that it might be expiring. So you should definitely jump on it now.
Gotcha. Round up that link. Go right now to the video description. Is right there. I put it in there for you. You get right in touch. I don't think you'll get Mike, but you'll get some of the representatives there. A1. I'm going to see how they put all the data in. They cover it all. Round up. Make sure you subscribe to my channel. Hit the like button up below. And go get your financing straight. Get your financing. I don't want to hear anymore. I'm going to wait till I get the money. I got to wait to buy it. I got to wait to.
Yeah. Get it forward. Progress, not perfection. Just do it. Just get into it. Figure it out. And by the way, you might not speak with me directly, but you'll probably be speaking to one of my family members or one of my high school friends. And they're very invested in this company. They've been with the company for years. They know the ins and outs better than I do, to be honest with you, when it comes to qualifying and all that stuff. Gotcha. So you're in very good hands here. We really take care of our people. So definitely go to the link, book a call, and let's get it going.
Okay. Thanks, Mike. I'll talk to you soon, Roundup fam.